In the name of Allah, the most beneficent, the most merciful. Sunday, the 19th of May, 2024. The President of Iran, Mr. Sayyid Ebrahim Raisi, headed to a region 130 kilometers from Tabriz to inaugurate the Khuda Farin Dam. This dam was a joint project between the Islamic Republic of Iran and Azerbaijan and is one of the most important water projects for both countries, creating 40,000 jobs for people in Iran. During this trip, the presidents of Iran and Azerbaijan had a joint visit to this dam, and Mr. Raisi also met with the people of the region. Around 1 p.m., Mr. Raisi, the president of the Islamic Republic of Iran, Mr. Amir Abdullahian, the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Mr. Ali Hashim, the Friday prayer imam of the city of Tabriz, and Mr. Rahmati, the governor of the city of Tabriz, boarded a Bell 212 helicopter along with 2 other helicopters carrying members of the government's delegation. After half an hour into the helicopter's flight, clouds had obstructed their path. 2 of the helicopters passed over the clouds, and they realized a few minutes later that the helicopter carrying the president had disappeared from their radar. They returned to the location, but there was no sign of the helicopter, so they landed at the nearest location, the Sungun copper mine, and local rescue forces were dispatched to the incident site. Forces from the Red Crescent also arrived at the site of the crash. A few minutes later, military forces arrived at the scene with reconnaissance drones. No communication could be established with the helicopter, and even the satellite phones of the president's entourage were unresponsive. 16 rescue teams were engaged in the search and rescue operations. "40 rapid response teams from the Red Crescent had arrived in the area, but the weather conditions and heavy fog had made the task extremely difficult. The Minister of Health announced that all medical equipment is ready and on standby. Now it was the turn of the Muhajir 10 drones, equipped with thermal imaging capabilities, to begin the reconnaissance mission. At the same time, the ministers of roads, power, and oil had also made their way to Varzaqan. The weather conditions were worsening by the minute, and the heavy fog and impassable areas had significantly slowed the search efforts. 15 Red Crescent teams had been deployed with search and rescue dogs. The number of Red Crescent rapid response forces had now reached 230 personnel. The AJA ground forces, their special commandos, and the IRGC's elite Sabirin unit were now on the scene. At around 9:30 p.m., the Red Crescent announced in a statement that they had identified an area between the villages of Ardshir and Barazin. The regional commander of the IRGC announced that the capacity for the presence of rescue forces had been saturated and there was no need for more personnel to come. Even the commander-in-chief of the IRGC himself had made it to the scene. Various countries such as Russia, Armenia, Turkey, and Iraq offered their help. Considering its proximity to the incident site, Turkey offered to deploy its Akinji reconnaissance drones to aid in the investigation. Iranian authorities accepted Turkey's proposal. The Turkish drone identified 2 hotspots in the area, and forces were deployed to those locations. but no trace of the helicopter wreckage was discovered. Eventually, 7 kilometers away from the location specified by the Akinji drone, Iranian drones equipped with SAR synthetic aperture radar belonging to the IRGC identify the crash site of the helicopter. The first images of the helicopter wreckage are then released. None of the passengers survived, and their bodies were transported by rescue teams. The martyrdom of the president and his entourage was officially announced at 8 a.m. Millions of Iranians attended the funeral processions to bid farewell to their beloved ones, draping the entire nation of Iran in the black cloth of mourning.
هشتمین رئیس جمهور ایران اسلامی شد در شب ولادت امام رضا علیه السلام به شهادت رسید.